Hello, once again, welcome to another exciting episode of Complete Sports Update, the show that brings you up to date with events in the world of sports. My name is Solomon Ojiagwese, and with me is Ben Idowu.
Good afternoon.
To kick off this episode, we'll be looking at Super Eagles coach, the big boss, Keshi, saying that none of his players has a guaranteed shirt in the Eagles team. Looking forward to the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Mr. Ben, what do you have to say about this?
Taking into consideration what Keshi said, my opinion is that any coach that is worth his onion should not guarantee any player a shirt ahead of competition, because World Cup is a big stage, and if you know how coaches operate, they don't guarantee player any shirt. What happens is that the form that you carry towards any competition will determine which role you will play. So Keshi saying that no guarantee for anybody, I'm sure is the normal thing for him to say. It is now left for the player to play their way into the team. Between now and June is still a long time to go. So let us see what happens for the player, both for the club and country, between now and that time.
Okay. Also, Kanu tips Eagles for World Cup final. Former Super Eagles striker Nwankwo Kanu has said that the Super Eagles will make it to the finals of the FIFA World Cup. How plausible is this?
I don't know where Kanu was coming from, whether he is speaking as a prophet or he's speaking as an analyst. Now, maybe as a Nigerian, he is entitled to his own opinion. The optimism of what is happening around the team these days can get anybody to say anything. But when the chips are down, we know which team is which team. Now, taking into consideration what Igbo has been doing in recent time, I think we should be optimistic. Let us moderate our optimism so that when we get there, we will not be too much disappointed. But based on what the team is doing in recent time, I think anybody can say anything. When we now get to the stage, we know what we can do. But Eagles will go far in this World Cup, I know.
Former Nigerian coach Clemens Westerhoff has posited that Super Eagles have the potential to shock the world during next year's FIFA World Cup finals in Brazil. What do you have to say about this?
Westerhoff is a man with two countries, partly Nigerian, partly Dutch. So he calls himself Dutch general. I'm sure the man has been following Nigerian football ever since he's left here. So what he said is something that I know that comes from optimism, even like Kanu has said. But if Keshi can take some tips from him, because he has been there before, he knows what it takes to play at the World Cup, and whatever he's saying should be taken as a serious thing. So I'm sure if Keshi can approach him and get some tips, Super Eagles will do very well at the World Cup.
Okay. After the 2-2 draw on Monday between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Azuris of Italy, Liverpool winger, striker Victor Moses says the Super Eagles are not going to Brazil to make up numbers. What do you have to say about this?
I'm sure Moses is saying the obvious. If you want to judge the performance of Super Eagles in recent times, how they qualified for the World Cup, they were unbeaten, and since Stephen Keshi took over, he has done a lot of things to that team. Super Eagles of now is different from the Super Eagles of about 2, 3, 4 years ago. They have been moving from strength to strength. So based on what they did all through the qualifier, and we now come to the friendly with Italy, maybe on Monday night. I'm sure Moses have every reason to be optimistic that Eagles will not be also runs in Brazil. They should be among the team that people should be looking onto to deliver at the World Cup, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yesterday, we saw Zlatan Ibrahimovic versus Cristiano Ronaldo in a Sweden-Portugal final playoff, which Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. What do you have to say about this?
That match has been attracting a lot of adjectives and superlatives based on Ronaldo's display. And I'm sure the guy got a perfect setting to prove to the doubters what he is about football. Before that match, it was all about Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo. And everybody believed that any of them can deliver and decide that match. And based on what Ronaldo did that day, I'm sure he is now a candidate for the Ballon d'Or. If FIFA refused to give Ronaldo that award this year, I'm sure a lot of questions will be asked. But the man has come of age and is now a deliverer, both for the country and for the club.
This rounds up another exciting episode of Complete Sports Update. Take of the week. Predict who wins the FIFA Ballon d'Or. Frank Ribery of Bayern Munich and France, and Cristiano Ronaldo of Real Madrid and Portugal. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.